Hi everyone, it's Katrina and I am here to talk about all my crocheting and crafty stuff that I've been up to. I think it's been 2 weeks, possibly a little bit more this time. I've been doing videos for about a week interval throughout the whole coronavirus COVID stay-at-home orders, and it's been really good because I've been getting heaps done. But at the minute I'm sort of backed off with what I've been crocheting and how much work I've been doing. I just haven't felt it as much during the middle of the last 2.5 weeks. So at the start I was really gung-ho, did a lot, and then in the middle I just petered out a little bit and then did a lot more at the end. So I've got to fly, sorry. So yeah, I'm going to share today everything that I'm up to. I think I'm around episode 17-ish for numbers, but it is May the 17th, it is Sunday. And I'm here in Australia, New South Wales, in my house, in my bedroom, in a little corner behind my chest of drawers. It's the only sort of clean spot, because if you go to this side, that's my bed, and my cat and my kitten's up on my bed, and I've got yarn over here on a trolley, and I've got washing. Life, no one's coming over to see anything anyway. So I hope everyone's going well. And I'll just jump straight into it. So I am currently crocheting actively on 3 projects. I have finished one. I think it's only one because I'm pretty sure I showed my husband's beanie in the last podcast that I filmed. So I couldn't quite remember exactly what I had finished and not. I'm pretty sure I had only finished like 1 or 2 things in the last one as well. Maybe it was more. Anyway, doesn't matter. So I dug through, well actually no, I'll explain. So I have a list. I just got a old textbook book that I just write notes in and random things for me to remember to do, like checklists. And I went through, I have a 60-litre plastic tub that I put all the acrylic that I was given. For about 12 months ago, I was given a lot from my grandma when she passed away, and I think it was about 6 months before that, someone had given me like a shopping bag, plastic bag worth of stuff that they weren't using, and I had said yes at the time, no dramas, and I just looked through it to see what I wanted to keep. I think I may have sold possibly 10, like passed it on to the next person, and yeah, sent it, I think it was even to like Kalgoorlie. It was like a remote WA or Northern Territory, it might have been, but it was somewhere really remote that it got sent to, which I felt really good about anyway, because then they probably had less access to those sorts of stores, and it was just on like Facebook Marketplace. I just wanted to de-stash some of the stuff I knew I would never use, and I didn't want to sit in here just getting played with by my kids and ruined. Anyway, don't have to justify, that's just what happened. So yes, and since then I have got a list, which I think I mentioned this in my last podcast, and totally I thought of it on my own, but as it turns out that it's happening, someone is running a make along for this year, and it's the same premise. So whether you knit or crochet, go through your stash, find the projects that you can either get for free, like patterns wise, or ones that you've already paid for and that match up with the yarn or wool or cotton, whatever you've got, and then sort of have designated bits and pieces, and then leave the rest for free play. And I had done that. So at the start of COVID, I went through my tubs, as I said before, and I found this Lion brand Heartland. Sorry, I was looking around for the tag and just realized I did not bring it in at all. So Lion brand Heartland, and it was in the Katmai, sorry if I'm butchering that, colorway. It's like a light grey, and I had, I think, 2 balls. One was unraveled because I put it in a project and I had to frog it, but the other one was a full ball. So I started the Treasure Island shawl by Hannah of the Cozy Cottage Crochet. Oh, nearly forgot that, that's bad. So this is the color, and it's amazing. So it's a very long, this is in DK. Now the pattern's written for 4 ply, It's written for a fingering weight or a 4-ply yarn, and I didn't want to do it in like a lace weight. I didn't feel like it at the time. I needed something that would be semi-mindless to do like whilst I'm watching telly. So ignore some of my non-straight edges. I know that there's one point where I sort of stuffed up one of the stitches. I did the wrong thing, but I know that once I block all this properly, it'll be the right shape and size and everything, so don't stress about any of that, please. But yes, so I can't show all of it, but it's a big triangle scarf and it goes on forever. I thought I had enough to finish this pattern completely, and it turns out I didn't. So I had to order one ball, and I did not use all of that. I think I used 3/4. I used most of it. I've got, actually, if it's just there, the Ziploc bag, I think I've got about 20 grams worth. So even more than 3/4. But I've got 20 grams worth, so it's really not much, but I've got enough to add something into another project later. So it's something that I would, you know, wear like this. I've got a mirror behind so that I can see in my camera, make sure everything's looking nice. But yes, that's the sort of look you're going for with that one. But I finished it. So that I started since the last video. I actually had planned on working on my other shawl that I started and showed you that I was going to start, but I just got confused in the pattern. That's another story. So that's my only finished one. So I haven't finished anything else. That was my finished shawl. I love it. It's soft. I don't know whether I will keep it or whether I'm going to gift it. I'm thinking all the stuff that I make now from January to sort of now, I've just stacked them up in a bit of a pile. I plan on taking some photos later on, and I may share them up here, especially when everything sort of starts to go back to normal. I'm thinking I'll have this big stack of stuff that I've crocheted throughout the COVID and coronavirus, which will be amazing. So yes, I've got some things that I'm thinking Christmas presents. I'm not thinking birthday presents throughout the year. I'll just make do, buy people what I normally gift them. And I'm thinking handmade sort of items for Christmas this year. A lot of people in my family, I never thought they'd appreciate it, but it turns out they do, and I've discovered that in the last couple of years. So it's even better. It's really nice. So yes, and so I think I said this before too. In early March, my husband's dad, my father-in-law, passed away, so we've been busy doing that, organising, you know, his funeral and his passing, and wills and things like that as well. Everything that comes along with someone passing away. So we have had to go out a little bit, in the sense that I've had to go to like solicitors and things like that. Legally, like legal obligations, you're allowed out for that. But otherwise, I've just been at home. I've been doing lots of ordering. But it also means that, sorry, the sun's just got a cloud in front of it, so I hope it stays light enough for this video. So it's just gone overcast, and that's why the light's changed. But I flip-flopped on projects that I've been working on as well. So my next one I started, and I've got it in project bag. This is the one I was given in the fiber share in November on Instagram. It's not a challenge, it's yarn, it's like a yarn swap, but it's organized through Instagram, and it's a gifting one where you choose that you want to gift something to someone first, and then they can give back to you. I received that one last November. So this is Bendigo Woolen Mills wool. They're 200 gram balls. I will give you some more details. It's the luxury in, oh, I just dropped the tag, sorry. Sienna Kiss, which I'm assuming is this one here. The more like it's a burnt orange and a cream color. And the other one, I'm thinking it's cream, but I do have it here. Champagne. So Champagne Sienna Kiss. And I am making a shawl, which I have just started. So this is the Harvest Moon shawl by Zines and Roger, and I was gifted this 2 years ago in the same swap, yarn swap, fibre swap. That happened in November. You can give people patterns from their wish list on Ravelry, and she'd offered to give away some patterns, so I got to pick a pattern, messaged her to ask what it was, to let her know, which one I would like, and I was gifted the free pattern. So it's been sitting there for ages, but it's only purely because I couldn't make up my mind what yarn I wanted to use, because it's two contrasting colours that makes this massive, well, you can make a small one, but I liked the larger size, and it's a very big style, wrap style shawl. I can't get the words out today, sorry. And it has a lace border around it. Now, I do have hubby's phone, and I'm logged in on Ravelry so that I can show you. So I have, so yes, I haven't done very much, but I started it, and I was concerned. This was the pattern where I got worried about the shape. So mine does very much a big U shape, how it's coming back in on itself, and a lot of everyone else's were going more like this, shape wise, and there was no like bunching and ruffling. So I was a bit concerned, and I'm not sure wasn't sure whether to rip it out and start again, or whether to just keep going, because it looks even and neat, and that's my two little starting bits. They just need to be woven in, but otherwise I'm carrying the yarn and everything as I have looked up to do it. But when I pull it sort of like this, it sits right. But as I say, when I look at Ravelry and watch other people's, theirs are probably twice as wide and big, it starts to sit flat. So I think I'm going to keep going now that I've seen those. It's fine, and I think I'll keep going. So this is the oh, that's right, my husband's screen has a my kid spilled something on my husband's phone. It's slightly blue, so there is a blue tinge, as you can see on this side, but that is their shawl, and it's a paid for pattern, but as I said, I got it for free to try. Harvest Moon is what it's called. It's not actually labeled as a shawl, it's just Harvest Moon by Zines and Roger. Sorry, I'm talking really fast today. I think it's just all the energy. I've been crocheting on the lounge, so yes, it's all there. But I haven't worked on that, so that was the one that I started working on straight away. As soon as my last podcast, I got going, and then just lost all motivation for it because I thought I was doing it wrong. So that one, I'm just going to set it off to the side. And then I actually got a new project bag. So this one's sitting in a new bag I got. So this is a recycled fabric bag, and it's like a big knitting overarm bag. It's so big, you can fit, well, I've got 3 skeins of yarn in here. So, oh, it's my Mother's Day present. But yes, so this one is the Hotel of Bees shawl. Now this did its rounds ages ago, and it's by Christina Hattering. Sorry if I get your last name incorrect, Christina, but it's a spoonful of yarn, and it's another paid for pattern as well. Now I've only got black and white, so you really don't see the colour on here, so I might get the phone. I prefer to work off a printed pattern, and my current printer that's working is only black and white, so I just tend to stick with that to start off with. And these were on my list, so going off the concept of using my stash, the first one that I finished, the Treasure Island shawl, was from stash. The 2 balls for that Harvest Moon shawl were not stash. I bought those at the start of COVID. And this project here, I've got the yarn at the Canberra wool show last year. I think it was at the end of winter, start of spring was when the actual festival happened. I don't know if it's been cancelled this year or not. They're waiting until later in the year to decide what the go is with that one. But I haven't made a project page for it on Ravelry yet because it's really only just started. So a lot of people have made this, and this has inspired me to want to make it because I've seen all these people making these beautiful shawls, and it's inspired by bees. So this is the shawl itself, and it has these lovely sections that represent different parts of bees life, and the nest. I'm not sure if nest is the right word for where bees live, but you get my drift. So I have used black wattle yarn in the Grevillea base. Oops, I'll just get the label for you. And it's alpaca yarn and fibre. So it's their 4-ply Grevillea base, and it is 60% alpaca, 20% merino, 20% nylon. It's a really good sock yarn. This one is Timeless Grey, and it has grey and yellow and like a cream, and it's got speckles of purple through it. Now, at the time, didn't really pay too much attention to the speckle, but I also paired it with this gorgeous colour. It is called Prevailing Winds, and it's a lovely blue teal. Exactly as it's showing is that's showing true colour. Couldn't get that out then. And then I've got this mustard yellow, and it is Fields of Glory. I actually remembered to keep my tags in these ones. So that is the order. Oops. That's the order for the shawl. And I'm pretty sure I just said the 3 balls. I worked out how much yardage I needed, meterage, and it looked like it was all going well. So I have started, and I have done the first bit, which is supposed to represent wings. So it's the bees. I'm sorry, I'm going to cut off my face here. Oops. Yeah. So you get these arrows. So it is quite long. So it starts at the longest point and then works its way down, and I'm not going to say any more than that about the pattern. So far, I'm really struggling with the pattern, going to be completely honest. I have said before, I consider myself to be a intermediate, not quite an advanced crocheter, but definitely intermediate. I can read charts, and I seem to get patterns, like what the pattern's trying to say, quite well, and I can interpret it even if I don't quite know. But this one I was really struggling with, and I mean really. I printed off, without even knowing it, the printer friendly version. I think that's what my computer just automatically went to when I said to print it. And there's another version of the pattern with photos, so that slightly helps, but not a lot. And then in that second version with the photos, I found a link which helped me. I think it was the designer saying that she had a lot of people not knowing how to do the rows that create these, and so she linked it and I could follow that, and that did help. I just didn't know where I was like putting the hook stitch wise into. It didn't explain that very well for me, and I know that might just be that it's lost in translation. This pattern, I'm pretty sure, originally was written in another language. It wasn't written in English, and then it was translated into English and a whole host of other languages, which is great, really good. But I just don't know if it's me or if other people have struggled and had to rely on other people for advice and help. So we'll see how we go. But I've gotten, this is the first section, which is just the wings. I do not, so it's got wings pattern, and then I think then it goes into open honeycomb. So then it's the big section with honeycomb, which will be all this beautiful turquoisey teal color. So I am looking forward to that, but I'm not going to rush this pattern. I'm not going to rush into it to get it done. I've just decided that if I'm struggling just to get, I think it was 9 rows done to start off with in this pattern, there's no way that I can sit there tired at night and try and get through it. So I've really got to be awake enough and alert enough to be able to do it. But I'm determined to get it done. It'll be my challenge project. So Hotel of Bees has started. I bought the yarn for this pattern almost a year ago now. So I didn't want it to sit in my stash for a year, especially when it's India dyed yarn, which is beautiful. I cannot tell you the name of this lady. Oh, wait a minute. I just got a tag in the bag. So the Fleece and Wheel is the lady who made this bag, and she is on Etsy. No, there's no, I forgot to put my card. I was going to put the card that came with it in the pocket and I forgot. But beautiful bag, recycled. It's flannelette. I'm pretty sure it was an old shirt of some sort or a blanket, and it has been turned into this bag. She's got lovely old vintage fabric that she turns into these bags. So there's those two. So 2 shawls, which is kind of, it's good and it's bad because it keeps me going, but none of them are easy, quick things to do. So the other one that I've been working on, which is more of a mindless project than the other two because I have to think more and I've been stumped by the patterns, is my husband's blanket. So I think, I don't exactly know where I was in the last video. I'm thinking around here. Yeah, I think it was around here where this blue is. So this week I have gone through another section in the waves, and then it goes into sort of this meshing double crochet or treble crochet in the red there, and then larger waves, which I have done today. So today I finished this. I started this first row but finished all these waves. The blue is like a double crochet or a treble crochet, and then it mixes in there, and then it does the bubble pops onto the green, and it's quite large. So it's 1.15 meters if I don't stretch and block it. That is just the width. And I'm thinking it's only to sit on the lounge or sit on the bed and just have something draped over him for my husband. So I'm thinking anywhere from 115 square, like a square blanket with a border around it, to a rectangle sized 125, 135 centimeters. I don't feel like I have to go all the way through the pattern. The pattern is the Seaside Stash Busting Blanket. It is by Coastal Crochet, and it's free on the blog. If you can go through Ravelry, find the blanket in Ravelry, and it'll take you to the blog post. It gives you the breakdown week by week. She did it as a cow and released what was happening, like the instructions, on a week by week basis. I have done up to week, what did I just say to my husband? 21 I finished. So it's quite big. I measured it, and it's I think I measured it down here, and it was like 85 centimeters. So I'm hoping, I want to do the next section as well today at some point, possibly tonight, and I'm hoping that'll get me to about 90 centimeters. So I'm really almost done. So my hope is to have at least the length done on this by the next video. I would love to have this almost finished, even if it's just a matter of putting on a border, but it's going really well. I have used up, it's all made from Bendigo Woolen Mills rustic yarn 8-ply or DK weight, and it's in 5 different colors. I do not have them with me, but I will remember to bring the tags when I finish. But that's the one I'm really focusing on now, because I figure if I get this done, I'm going to add some beanies. I made a beanie for my husband 2-3 weeks ago, and he's really loving it. It's winter. Well, it's technically still autumn, but it's winter weather here where I live. We've had -6 for about a week, which is uncommon. It's usually not this cold this fast. Or last week it was really cold, so my boys need beanies, and they've grown out of their ones from last year that I made them. So that's good. But it's all I've been working on. So I have been buying things. As you know, I bought this bag that I said, but then I bought another crochet bag. So I bought I have sold a couple of things on eBay, just in general, just cleaning out the house, and I used my money to buy myself a little project bag. So it is from Totes a Go-Go, which is a person, or a lady, sorry, I should say, a lady here in Australia. I'm pretty sure Sydney based, but please don't quote me on that. It was an Etsy shop, her Etsy shop, and it's a project bag with snaps, but it is Harry Potter. It's Harry Potter. So it's the Marauders map from Harry Potter, and it has the logo dead center, and then one side off to the side on the back. And it's a small satchel, and it's just lined with matching beautiful fabric in there. I have been looking at Harry Potter fabric bags and bags for ages, and I'm really excited that I've got it, because even though it's a small bag, a lot of shawls and things like that will use this size, and I can use it. Words not coming out. It's gone dark again. I'm sorry, it's cloudy, it's overcast. So now my hair's all dropping too. It was looking really nice 2 seconds ago, but oh, whatever. So then when I got my extra, I've got yarn now to show. So when I had to get my extra ball of yarn for this, I ordered it from Spotlight, big department store, specialized in craft stuff. And I didn't want to order one thing and pay $11 postage to get it to me. So I looked at the yarn sales and I got a few things extra. So I got the Karen cotton cakes and blushing melon. Oops. I've used this before to make a triangle shawl, which is not the shawl on this, but it's the shawl on the ball band for one of the other patterns. And I love it. I wore it, I think, all winter, spring of the year I got it. It's lovely. I was thinking originally a market bag possibly, or even a top. I think I saw a top on Ravelry, but I wanted to see if I still like these colors, because you never know online if you're gonna like it. And then, oh, my son's there. Bye-bye, I'm recording. Go on, let me record. We can see you. Bye-bye. And so I also got Four Seasons Brighton, which is another one. And it's cotton blend, 8-ply, 50% cotton, 50% acrylic, and it's, there we go. So it's a lovely, it's a small 50-gram ball. It was on special, I think, for like $2 or $3 because it's new, but it feels really, really soft. And I got 2 of those, so hopefully can make something with those as well. And then I got 8-ply pure wool, 50-gram balls, and this is 100% Australian wool, and it is in color 37. Now I've got my thing here, so let me just check. Pure wool, turquoise. So for reference, 37 is turquoise. And I got 4 of those. So that made my, oops, having to order that a lot, well, worthwhile for me, which is great. And I ordered that straight away. I did that instantly and I was super happy with that as well. And then I got a little bit upset and sad that we had to be at home and I couldn't see friends, and my friends were saying how they missed catch-ups, and we were all, oh, my bottom's going numb, missing each other. So I was on eBay and I had seen that a lady wanted to de-stash out of what she was, her own yarn with COVID and everything, going through her stuff. So I got this big bag of yarn. It's going to be a little bit crinkly, but I got this beautiful, it is the stuff's over the tag. It's Knit 1 Crochet 2, and it's from America in Wyndham, ME. So I apologize, I don't know what state that is, but it's called Allagash. I think that's the base that it is. It's 60% wool, 20% viscose, 20% nylon. It's 100 gram skeins, hanks, and there is 200 meters or 219 yards. It says a 4 weight. I looked this up on Ravelry and it's a 10 ply, but it's a tweed. Oh, there's a fly just landed. Apologies. So it's tweed, and it's beautiful dark blue color with tweed coming through, and there was 8 skeins of that, and it was quite cheap actually. So I was super happy, and I've since looked up a pattern to make with it. So I found Heart Hook Home on Ravelry, and there's Easy Peasy Lemon Squeezy Pullover. And it's a crochet pullover top. Can't really see it there. Sorry, black and white version. So I'll get it up again. I had bought this pattern as a gift for someone in that yarn swap. Not swap. Where you could gift yarn to people, and that I was talking about in November, that happens on Instagram. I gifted this pattern to a lady, I think she was in America, and accidentally did it wrong when I was learning how to gift patterns, and I bought it for myself. Rookie mistake, I know, but I learned from it, and then I bought a second copy for the lady. So I've had this pattern in my Ravelry favorites and in my library for ages, well over a year, possibly 2 years now. And I'll just grab it up because it looks fairly simple, and once I've printed it off, it does look like quite an easy pattern to do, which is good. The language and everything seems really good for me to understand, and I think it's quite adaptable. So I'm looking forward to making it, but I have to finish the blanket at least before I start something as big as a jumper. But, excuse me, I have made 3 jumpers now. Yeah, 3. And I feel like I want to make heaps more. So I'm just grabbing this picture, sorry. So the pattern is from 2017, so it is a slightly older pattern. But it is a great top. So there is the lady wearing it, and she's got like a really dark navy blue, and mine is more like a dark teal blue with the tweed through it, so it's not quite as dark as this navy. Now that's the long sleeve version. There is also a short sleeve version, and I don't know which I like better. So that is there. Oops. And I like both. So hopefully, and I will tag all the patterns that I've mentioned in the box below as well, just so you can quickly access them at Ravelry if you would like. So it was really good, even though I bought that yarn, I had dedicated a pattern to it. But then I had seen on someone's post somewhere, Instagram or Facebook, just randomly when I was sitting there one night scrolling through, that there was this amazing Malabrigo yarn that someone had bought, and I went to Knit Pearl Yarn Boutique, which is the store in Australia. I do not know where. I do believe it was fairly close because we've had delays in postage all over Australia, and so I've just started to do express post. The difference between on a small satchel, which is up to 5 kilos, but it's a certain size satchel bag you have to buy to put things in. Normally it'd be $9, and with express post it's $12. So you pay an extra $3, but you know you're going to get it within a week. It's not at the minute running where you're going to get it in a day or two, which is normally the case. There has been significant delays because I sent a pair of those slipper socks I made and it took 7.5 weeks to get 2 hours away from me. So anyway, yes, been paying for express postage, but I got, and this is the worst rookie mistake, I cut open the bag and I cut the yarn. Can you see that? And I don't know if it's just me or if other people do it. Oh, the sun's coming back. But it's really painful. So now I've got 5 strands, 6 strands, and I can see them where they are. But I don't know how I'm going to fix that because it's in a hank. So I don't know whether to just do a dodgy knot now and then wind it up with my winder and my Swift and then fix them as I'm crocheting with it. Possibly, but anyway. So it's Malabrigo. Machita, and this colorway is Paprika. It is, I'm pretty sure this is a 4-ply, like a fingering weight, and it's 100% merino superwash. And I was just thinking to add to things with like add to shawls and things like that, but these colors just got me. They just got me. So it's this beautiful burnt orange with almost like dark green, black, grey speckling all through, as you can see there. But it is a tonal orange. So it's like that shawl, the Lost in Time shawl that I made. Almost like that colour, but it's just a thinner ply. So there's that one. Same thing, I couldn't just get one. So this one is the same type, Machita, but it's called Viola 727. And it's this gorgeous purple. And it's got blue speckling through it. But same sort of thing, it's tonal colours. Oops. Oh my god. It's so beautiful. And now you can see my dog coming in. I should have shut the door, shouldn't I? So they only had one of each of those available. Same type of yarn again, but I saw this. This was the one I saw on this lady's post, and it was blue. And it's got like purple and red and dark blue. Now this one is called Piano. The one, as it turns out, that she had was called Full Moon. Was the colorway, but everywhere in Australia, as it turns out, was sold out with that Full Moon colorway. But this is just beautiful. So I got 3. Yeah, so there's 3 in Piano. And that will make a magnificent shawl or scarf. I don't think I'll make a top with it. I don't think so, unless it's a not as detailed top. I don't want to draw away from a pattern, but it's amazing. So that was my very guilty. I'm justifying it with, I've used that much yarn making, I made my, I've got a pile above me, which is all my finished stuff. So my add-along, I used 11 balls of yarn. The Zeppelin scarf, I used 2 of the cakes. I used a cake to make the dragon belly shawl. And then I used up some scraps to make like a hot pad, which I have used a couple of times actually. And then my husband's beanie was like 2. My son's blanket that I made was out of stash yarn. It was acrylic stuff, and that's probably 4 or 5 balls from there. And then 2 from stash from this. So I'm just topping up what I've left. But now there's not so much older stuff in my stash. I know it doesn't really help, but I just wanted it. I needed to feel better and have a pick-me-up. I've been at home with my kitties. Not that that's a bad thing. I love my kids and I love being home, but sometimes we like to go for bushwalks and go out to the national parks and see people and just play in their backyard or play in the park with them. Like, it's just nice to see people and recharge a little bit from social interactions. But yeah. So that was me today. Sorry about the lighting, but otherwise everything else. Thank you for watching. I appreciate everyone coming around. I know I talk a million miles an hour because I'm excited and happy, and I'm just happy to get back and share with you everything that I've been making. So please give it a thumbs up if you do like it. I never really say it often enough, but please do. Then more people will see this video as well, and they can come over and join. All right, see you next time. Bye.